you came to the right place.
Hiya, guys.
We have the goof dude, Bluebeard. Bluebeard is in the wind. We only got vocal. He's having video issues.
I'm gonna be the voice from the Great Beyond today.
Yeah, I should have put a picture up there for you.
That's all right. You didn't know. Don't worry about it.
Put up the monkey.
I gotta upload it. I gotta put it in there.
Oh Jesus!
You asked for it, man.
I didn't ask for
it. All right, so let's see what we got for comments. Let's get to the chat. Let's get to the chat page. Okay, who we got here? We got today. Olga's with us. Teresa,
Barb,
Brent,
Olga,
Lesley,
Leslie,
everybody. My hands won't
Lori.
be Lori, yes, Teresa, Barb. Well, welcome everybody. Leslie's with us. Very cool. We got some things we're gonna discuss today. I think a lot of you may have joined us last week on our chat. So we're gonna I'm gonna have an update for everybody. 15 online. Hey, cool. All right. Well, we got a lot planned. A lot of things to discuss. And the first thing I want to do is I've had some. This is just kind of a personal thing. We've had some really heavy thunderstorms the last 3 days. It's really affected my being able to get some things done. Our inside the studio was a 4 or 5 hour process to get done because of outages and all that. But today last night we had a really bad thunderstorm, and with most people, their dogs they come running and want some protection because they hear the thunder. No, not here. Mine enjoy the rain. That's my little baby. And then Finn again.
Oh shit!
Nah, they got out there romping around in the rain. Thunder didn't bother them at all. It's funny. It's funny how animals are. I love them. So anyway, we're going to talk about several different things. Let's see. I'm there. Okay, so now let's go to news. I got my thing right here. Okay, a few little. I'm going to get some. Oh, I tell you what. Let's just start off with this. The big thing that came out this week regarding the Elvis world, which brought a lot of excitement. Well, we actually had two big things. I'm going to get these two out of the way because this one out of the way because we're going to have a longer discussion on the other stuff. But Baz Luhrmann's announcement of the epic, the Elvis Presley in concert before the end of the year.
Uh-huh.
A lot of discussion, a lot of curiosity. The man, the music, it's really cool. EPIC, Elvis Presley in concert, epic, brilliant, brilliant title. Yeah.
Very clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we spoke about it before. We estimated around about October anyway. October, November.
Yeah. So I think I'm excited. I'm hoping he does it straight on streaming and not through theaters. That way, because I can't go to the theater, so I'll have to wait. That's when I avoid all social media because I don't want to hear about it until I can actually see it and do my own review on it because I don't want any. But knowing how Baz Luhrmann is, I'm hoping, and I've got a good feeling that he's going to do a good job. So anyway, you heard about all that, Rich, about the epic?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Well, yeah, it's hard to. All right, so last week, I did Leslie posted a photo on Facebook. And so I got with her and we decided we'd do a live chat, and we had a really good discussion. If I'm going to have the link down below for it, but if you haven't seen it, go back and see it because a lot of good questions. It was with Lesley and I. Could only come into the phone at the time. We have to work out some connection issues as far as video. But so I told her, I said, let's do it live. I'm going to go ahead and do a live. So we scheduled it. I think we did it at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and had a good discussion. Some of the things that this is the picture that she posted. This is the condition of the ranch, the house, and if you go back to, let's see, this is a picture. I don't know how long ago they did this, but Google usually does their map pictures on a regular, pretty much every couple of years. But this has got to be more than that. So this is their Google shot of the house. So this is obviously a while back, but it's gone from that to that. Right there.
Why do these people even own that land?
Well, that was our question.
Yeah, that's that we Lesley'd have to answer that. Let's see. Oh, they're still behind me us a little bit. I like theaters and streaming. Yeah, I really hope it's streaming for me, but that's just kind of a selfish thing. But so she thinks that Google picture was around 2016. So,
Yeah.
Let me get back.
That's
So
just what an embarrassment.
yeah, it's a total embarrassment to the Elvis world. So she sent off, and there's people that always say it's far beyond repair. But when they say that, we got a good example of the condition of Johnny Cash's house before and then after they renovated it. So, by looking at the pictures, the bones are still there for the house, and they can do something with it. We can at least preserve it. So, so Lesley sent off a letter to the governor and an email to the governor, and so what we did is asked everybody anybody. And we've been spreading it around on Facebook to copy the text and send emails to them. She's gotten some response from the congressman regarding it, and so there's I'm sorry, I lost my thought for a second. I'm trying to find. I think I have this stuff down in here. No. Let me get back to the main. So, anyway, she's gotten a response from the. Why do I lose that? Oh, there we go. She's gotten some response, and they talked about grants and things like that. And the situation with this is that they would have to apply for the grants, the owners of the place. So Lesley's communicating a lot with them. We're sharing all the information today. I put out a great video that Lesley made. It's on my page, my YouTube channel. It's on her YouTube channel, and then I made a short, 1 minute short of it to direct you to the video. So share it. That's what we're asking everybody, just to get the word out. People are slow in responding, especially like when you're on Facebook or something like that. And you post something and you want to post it in different groups, and some people don't pay attention to what's being requested to go, be put up, and sometimes they don't, they think it's a double of something else. So it's a tough getting this word out, but we're doing the best we can, and everybody that can help by just starting off by sending the email. All that information I will have in the description down below of how to get to the on the CGF Facebook. She put that video too, but Rich is right. It's freaking embarrassing. Let me put that picture back up because just to pound it. It's embarrassing. Something that's and I just don't understand. Lesley maybe will answer this better than I can, but I just don't understand why, EPE or somebody within that organization
Well,
was.
the thing it is, if EPE's got no financial involvement with that in any way, then they're not going to bother with it.
Well, nobody has financial involvement until they buy it.
Well, I mean, like, they're not
No.
like obligated to do anything. You know what I mean? You know what I
Well,
mean?
no, I know that's yeah. Well, I know they're not obligated to do anything, but they're also the people that are supposed to be keeping the legacy of Elvis.
Well, I'm just saying. My point is, if it's not something they have to deal with, they're not gonna. That's my point.
Well, yeah, I know that's a given. I mean, I knew that. I just don't understand why they don't want to do anything. That was my response. I don't, I'm not. I'm not.
It's kind of stupid on their part too, because if they invested in this somehow, they could make a crap ton of money if
That's
they
my point
renovated
from the very
it.
beginning, Rich. That was my point from the very beginning. Why don't they do that? That was what I'm trying to get across. I'm very aware that they're not obligated. That's just a given. But
Right.
that's just they're the custodians of Elvis's legacy. End of story. That's what Leslie's saying. It's just you know I just won't know why they don't do anything with it. But anyway, we push. We try to do. We're doing everything we can through CGF. Hopefully, we'll get some more answers. But the one nice thing is this time around, from the time we started this video and Lesley started putting other videos, we've actually been getting a fairly good response from people. I haven't really seen a lot of negative comments regarding why do you. Well, there's questions of why you want to do it, but it's like why you want to, in dilapidated places. We're not getting those, and that's kind of a good sign, But it's my train of thought is that they'll eventually oil the squeaky wheel. Who would be interested in donating to a full-page ad in the Memphis newspaper naming and shaming EPE? That'd be interesting to do. Be interesting to find out how much that costs. It's a shame, but we did the live chat last Monday, and had a really good. Excuse me. Good response out of that. So those are the two big news items for this last week. Everybody, we can use your help just by emailing. Cut, copy, or paste, and send it in your email. And let's do it on a regular basis if we can. What's it take to cut, copy, and paste and send? In about 2 minutes. Sign your name to it and go. Olga Ann, would they be able to fix it and operate as an Elvis site legally because of EP owning Elvis's image and likeness? If they did it, if those owners, I think this is, if I understand this question, and Leslie will correct me if I'm wrong, but if the owners all of a sudden one day got up and said, you know what, let's turn this into an Elvis place, they would have to pay they would have to get permission. They couldn't do it they just couldn't go do it without legal ramifications. And, correct me if I'm wrong, Lesley, but, just me knowing what I do know of situations like that. They are able to fix it and operate it as something, but, even if we could get somebody that would want to invest in it and do something with the property in the name of Elvis and work with the EPE, they don't have to do anything, but just, obviously they would be getting royalties or something. Oh, Lesley, there are ways of doing that without using his image. Are the owners Elvis fans? Well, I'm going to say no, given what they're doing with the property. But Lesley will give you I'm pretty sure she'll give you a big capital N-O, just given how they respond to things. And she can be a lot, she'll be a lot more. I think what we'll do is I'll talk to Lesley and we'll take this outside of this and do another live chat. And let me talk to her and coordinate it. I mean, we can try to get something done pretty quick. But as everybody knows, my schedule is pretty flexible, and so I can just do it whenever she's able to do it. Lesley, no, she did. The big oh no, they're not Elvis fans. So no, I'll we'll do that. We'll do another live chat, and if she can't join us, that's fine. We'll still do another chat. But I would, it'd be nice to have her. She actually answered a lot of questions during that chat. I can never tell if Rich is there or not.
He's making tea.
Yeah, well, I just want to say
Morning, Wilbur. Morning, Wilbur.
Yeah, I come up with some really good ones. I got some new sound effects. Our sound effects man's going to have fun, real quick, this is just a real quick trivia question. Really not Elvis related, but on these things. Name the movie this is from.
Inconceivable.
I'm gonna see. We're gonna see the answer. Bam, 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 bam. Anyway, so let's get moving on to some good stuff. Hey, Rich, you got anything more to say while we're on the subject, or?
I'm good.
You're good. It sounds like you ran away from the microphone. You're way looks like you're on the side of the room.
All right,
But
hold on. There we go.
oh no, we could hear you. It's just like when we were talking earlier. It was like it was almost like you were right next to it, and then now you're way far away. It's like that. I think it's Sesame Street. Near, far, near, far. I see Lesley Lansky's, but I was just thinking EPE would want to cash in. Well, we're going to discuss that book today, Adrian, a little bit. We're getting into the Russwood concert right after the Steve Allen show, and just before that was Milton Berle. All right, so I got some really cool trivia, you guys, and I think you're going to enjoy this. A little bit different than what we normally do. So let me start it off with the questionnaire. So Elvis's trivia. Many of the songs recorded by Elvis had subtitles in addition to the main title. For example, on the Clam-Bake album, there's a song titled "How Can You Lose?" and then in parentheses, what you never had. So what you need to do is tell me the subtitle. Oops. Let me. I'll take that off for a second. I wonder how far behind we are. Oh, it's showing on the screen. Oh, Rick, I haven't caught up with my reading this week. Well, I didn't get as many chapters as I want, but the way we're going, we're getting this fairly slow. Lily Ramus, that's how I'll be. She is correct. All right, so that's how I will be. Next one. Just before Teddy Bear. Barb got it right. Lily got it right on the last one. Lesley got it first, Rick. Oh, okay. I didn't see Leslie's. Oh, that. Yeah, I was right after the other one. Okay, good. Oh, a lot of people got it though. Hey, Olga, trust me, you're gonna. I think I comment on this in a second. You're gonna. We'll get into this. This is a good chapter. It's a really good chapter. All right, so Satin says, Adrian says, "Let me be." Satin says, "I just want to be." Barb says, "Let me be your." Yeah, who is the right one? You're all pretty damn close. Let me be your was the exact one. Who got that one? Let me be your. Barb got that one dead on right.
Barb.
Way to go, Barb. All right, next we got Don't Be Cruel.
Oh, I know this one.
All right, let's see what we got. See if we got any guesses in there. Oh, it's
Be
so.
cruel.
Yeah. Ooh, we're getting no guesses. To a heart that's true. Lily says to a heart that's true. You guys agree? To a heart that's true. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
/tenure.
To a heart that's true. Yeah, these are fairly simple. You're going to like some of the other trivia I got. Any way you want me. Sentence says to my Harry, to my heart is true, Harry. Anywhere you want me. Any guesses? First person to get it. Bingo. Barb got it. Barb's nailing it. That's how I will be. I think I got one more. Oh, no. Oh, that's it. That's it of those. All right. So here's a couple of things. I think Steve did this once before a long time ago. I saw it, but I got to thinking about it today. So not as much as I'm still going to put videos and all that up. This is just a real quick clip of a very popular song from 1972, but it's backwards. Name that tune.
Oh, come on.
Listen to that bass run, man. In the beginning.
That's brilliant.
I have an idea, but I'm not going to say it.
No, don't say it. A lot of people, you'd be surprised how many people get this right away. Look at that. Bingo. Right off the freaking bat.
It was like Lily had a gun to her head.
Good one. C-Cat got it. Olga got it. Adrian got it. Look at it. Everybody's getting it. Yeah. Good job, you guys. All right. This was going a little bit further back. Let me see what year he did this real quick. You'll have to really, you'll catch it once you, yeah, it takes a couple times to listen to it. But anyway, this was done 1962. All right. So here it is backwards. Huh?
You're right on that one, Olga. That's my jam episode, that one.
Yeah, it is. I listened to it again the other day, and I just, I took the clips out of Canvas. It's that's where the bobblehead part started. All right, here we go. Backwards, 1962.
I know.
You got
Blue
it?
suede shoes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was mentioning Brent. You're right on.
Brent got it. Good one, Brent. Here we go.
Every time you kiss me, I'm still not certain that you love me.
That's long enough of the song. We get bumped off of a fun little. Look at people got it. Yeah, when I got it. Well, I got it from the beginning because I made it, but dumbass. Anyway, the part that I could tell it right away was about 2/3 of the way through when he's suspicious. Every time you kiss me, and he does that backwards.
I had to run through the lyrics in my head.
Yeah. Another good one, guys. All right. So now, last thing on trivia, we've got Silhouette. Name that movie.
I suck at these.
My whole life, Brent says, my whole life is backwards, so I have a knack for that. Hey, Renee's with us from Hidden Minds.
Hi, Renee.
Hey, hey, hey. Anybody named this movie? Anybody? Anybody? Nobody's getting it. Yep, there it is. Brent got it. We're in their bank and they got their loan for their business. All right, so that's trivia for today. Now, here's another thing that Cam has asked to play. We recorded this last week because last week, let me go to Cam's page here. So last week, Cam there was a large amount of donations given towards Cam. It was a nice week for him for donations, and you know, you'll hear what he's got to say, but I want to tell you what he said to me. Basically, the same thing. He finds it very hard to, just every thank you here, thank you there, because it almost doesn't feel natural after a period of time. So he recorded a message to everybody out there that has helped him out, and it's get your tissues out. That's all I'm going to say, because he was kind of blown away by when I told him. So here it is. Just listen to it and share your thoughts. But here's Cam.
Hi guys. I just thought I'd pop on and send you guys a message and stay in this moment, because Rick has just let me know that another massive donation has come through for me, and I don't want to single out specific people, because every single one of you that have donated money in helping me rebuild my life, I don't have words to thank all of you. But I want all of you to know that it's the most liberating feeling to know that I have made decisions in my life over the last 8 months that I didn't know whether I was coming or going, whether they were the right decisions to make. But every time these kind of instances happen, they serve as an affirmation for me to say, Cam, I as the universe, as God, as the creator, as the higher being, have been with you all the way. And I see the pain that you've had to endure. And every time I told you in my own special way that I have your back and that you'll be okay. In the Bible, God says, have faith when you're afraid. Have faith. Take the first step and I will take the following 9. And that's what I had to do. And ever since I took that first step, every time these situations happen, it's like God said to me, you see, I told you, I'm here. I have your back. And that's because I'm finally loving my passion. I'm loving what's important. Not for other people anymore, but for myself. And these are the rewards that I get. And I appreciate every single one of you out there because God has laid a message on your heart and you've answered. You've been willing to be the instrument through which He does His work. And for that, I am eternally grateful to each and every one of you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and through every fiber of my soul. I thank each and every one of you. Yeah, that's it.
Turn my mic back up.
You're gonna be all right, my friend.
Yeah, I know.
That's the
It's
first time I
hard.
watched it all the way through. I
It's
didn't.
hard
I
to
didn't.
understand.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it like everybody else here, and this is my brother. This is my friend. This is my family.
For Cam to get on the camera and just wear his heart on his sleeve like that, it just shows you the kind of man that he is.
Yeah, yeah. So everybody knows my relationship with Cam is very close. It's the same with Rich. You know, we've all three of us are just like, you know, people laugh. You know, people joke a little bit, maybe not a joke, but call us the Amigos or the Three Musketeers or the Three Stooges or whatever, and that's a sign of of
Take it as a compliment.
that's it. That's a compliment to us because those all those threes stuck together to the end, and
Yeah.
that's so between what I'm doing to help Cam, and then with the CGF Foundation, you know, I have my whole. I'm 100% dedicated to both situations, and I will do whatever I can to help each one of those out. I do a lot for CGF, and then Cam and I are working. A lot of what we're doing for Cam even comes out of the financial situation. It comes to the fact that he's built friendships through this, new friendships that he never had before. I can name five or right now, Rich and I, and then there's others that within this group that are watching now that support him and are friends with him, and I when I got the donations, and I'm going to say thank you to you guys too. I don't mention names on here for the sake of I just don't. I'd rather keep your privacy to that. Some of you do donate anonymously, or they don't care, but we make sure our best to get Cam and I make sure that you are showing a sign of appreciation once you do that. And it was very nice, and I was very excited to let Cam know, and so and this is how everything developed. So anyway, I thank everybody, and I think you might have to. Oh, you did. I still got my glasses on. Oh, I know why now. I can't fucking see. Excuse me. Anyway, thanks everybody for listening to that. I know we got a little bit out of our normal routine, but it's still part of our routine. Everybody knows that we talk about this occasionally, and so I'm excited to be able to get that all sent to Cam once it goes through the process. So you got anything else to say, Cam, before we move on, or Rich, or Cam?
No, I think
you
I've said it all already.
Yeah.
And, it's just like you've said it before, Rick. I mean, the Elvis community. What can you say? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just it's like symbolic of the way he was. That's how pretty much most of his fans are same way. Compassionate, giving. It's the same. It's the same thing. That's Elvis fans for you. The best fans in the world. When one of us is down, we're all down.
Yeah.
And that's how it's gonna be always.
That's going to kind of segue here real quick for something I want to talk about. A couple of nice comments from Lori Olga. This weekly show with you guys helps me tremendously. That's why Cam and I got a very special talent not talent, but we have the ability to go online and do whatever we want any time of the day, any time in the world, because of how my schedule. I'm here all the time, and I and Cam, Cam's very flexible. Sometimes he's going to do stuff at 3 in the morning. Sometimes I'm going to do stuff at 3 in the morning. So we are establishing some shows, and I got to get with Rich to coordinate times because I want to make sure that none of what we do on the radio will interfere with his schedule or what we do YouTube wise, and with his show. But Cam and I are going to try to do more shows on the weekends so that more people can take ability of it. A couple of live shows. We're going to do anyway. I'm going to put something up. I've been revamping the page. I took some things out. I'm going to put them back in. The one thing I do want to say something about the merchandise store too, while we're doing this. So last week I mentioned about the orders we've been having some of the issues with some orders. We did have one really. Supposedly it was due to holiday traffic and all that. And it took a while for the product to get to the person that got them. Finally got them, even though one was wrong. But I am remedying that in the process right now. So that's in fact I've already remedied it. It'll anyway. I corrected the problem, and but what I'm finding out is that. Out of all, I feel so bad because it's just one person that really got affected. But all the orders that have been ordered outside of this one have all come in within the time that they say that they'll get them delivered. And so I want to explain to everybody that we're really wanting everybody to have the opportunity to get some of the merchandise if you want them, and that's why we're putting it out there and we're excited about it. Everything is made to order. So it's not like Amazon where the stuff's on the, the only way we could ever do it where they ship it the next day is if we took a large amount of money, funded, and stocked the shelves with everything. Well, as everybody knows, is shopped on there, you can get the T-shirt in 10 different colors. So that would mean we'd have to do 10 different colors, 10 different on one side. It wouldn't be able to do so. Generally, what's happening is it takes from the day you order it till you receive it right at 3 weeks. So that's not really too bad. Some have gotten them earlier than that. One got way past that. And I'm hoping that's just, just a glitch or holiday or whatever. But, they're getting delivered. There's one order that was placed 3 weeks ago, placed on the 28th. I think it was of April, maybe 20th of April, something like that. But anyways, it's going to arrive by post office. It says it's going to arrive on the 6th. That's only 1 day past the date. For me, that's still within time because of once it's handed to the post office, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So in my estimation, out of including in Rich's, when Rich and I talked about this, a lot of the orders that he had previously, he wasn't really having issues with time. And this is actually one of the top companies for a lot of. I did some research, and a lot of creators use this company. So, we're gonna. I think I'm gonna put everything back up online if Rich is fine with that.
I'm fine with that. That's what was so surprising about the whole thing. 'Cause like you said, they're very reputable. So I don't understand.
Yeah. So I just I feel horrendous for I felt so bad about the one that we had an issue with, and I do know that there's shipping issues. There was a conversation about maybe the tariffs were there's all this tariff, but Mexico didn't get any tariffs because they're working whatever. So I'm not going to talk politics. I'll start drinking. Anyway, we're going to put the merchandise back up. Everybody is getting their items. I would say 95% of all orders that have gone out have gotten there on time. And I hate it when there's one person there that, it's sick. Anyways, Leslie's got a good point. What we do, and that's including what I do, with Cam, and that's including with CGF, that's including with everything. We represent Elvis's legacy. everything we do is in the image, to me, of him, personality wise. Is that the way they say it, Rich? Cam? Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. But as far as the community is concerned, I do want to share something with you here. As soon as I find out where the hell I said. Okay, so in order to, when we start doing the live chats and when we get into the book review, as everybody knows, I take phone calls. And I've worked out the problem that we had last week, so all that won't come through. You can call through WhatsApp and you can call through Google Voice. Now, one of the things I really want to push is and you can do it on your laptop, you can do it on your phone, but everybody get the WhatsApp. It doesn't cost anything. You don't get ads or any of that kind of stuff. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm creating a group. I created a small group yesterday of people, and I sent out a little message. Well, it just went out to everybody, and so I want to use that so that when we're doing our live last minute deals, you'll be able to get a notification that is popping up, whether you can attend it or not. It's great if you can, but we want to create this group because you guys can do conversations. We can chat. We can, there's a lot of things we can do with it. And you can have personal conversations with a friend and do videos. You can send voice messages. You can send text messages. It's great. You can upload pictures. You can do it's best. It's the better thing. And you don't need a data plan. It's all through the Wi-Fi, so it's worldwide. Now, Google Voice works good too, but it's only for the States and Canada and that area because it's I guess a U.S. based thing. But you can call in through that too. That works really good. But I'd really like to. I'm gonna put this up real quick. This is the WhatsApp for the group. It's under Blue Moon Radio. So I don't know where I'm going to post that at, but I'll put this on my Facebook page group, which doesn't have a whole lot of people. But, maybe I really can't leave that. But we're under Blue Moon Radio. So if you get the WhatsApp, just send me a message, let me know, and I'll send you the link so that you can add it to your phone book. So, and you don't have, when you send a message, you don't have to send it to everybody. You can have individual conversations. You can have 2 or 3. You can create your own groups. But I'm creating the coffee day. I'm creating the Elvis-A-Z Blue Moon group. We got to come up with a name we just call it the Blue Group. I don't know what. I don't know what. I don't know. But anyway, I really want to get everybody involved in that because that's how you're going to. A lot of people don't catch the lives on time, or they don't. It's too late. Say, I didn't know this happened. But if you have you're getting a little beep or something like that on your phone that says, "Hey, we're going live in 30 minutes. Join us if you can," because we're going to be doing more book reviews outside of this. We're going to do more live stuff, discussions, and we're going to more radio live with Cam and I. Next Saturday, so we're working on the time.
Before you jump in, yeah, Dylan, if you're willing to be of help with that, so it would be greatly appreciated, brother. Just pop Rick a message after the show, and then the two of you can bust it out, and then when everything is all in a row, then Rick can just pull me in and let me know what's cooking.
Yeah.
But
Just message me.
If you're willing to do that, it would be greatly appreciated.
Lily's got a good name for the overall group, Indescribably Blue.
Yeah, I like that.
What do you think, Rich?
Sounds good.
You like that? Good one. Like Olga said, Blue Moon Jam. That's pretty good too.
Yeah, Blue Moon Jam is nice too.
You know what? We'll get a couple and we'll do a poll.
Okay, I was just gonna say, here comes the poll.
I love the polls. We gotta have.
You say that, buddy.
Yeah. And you know what?
I'm your huckleberry.
All right, so you know what? Did anybody guess what movie this came from?
Inconceivable!
Somebody out there's got to know. I don't know if I missed. Did I miss the message?
No,
And-
nobody guessed yet.
wow, one of my favorite movies because it had Peter Falk in it at the beginning, and I'm a huge. I got a big old nice picture from the Rolling Stone magazine of Peter Falk hanging in there. The whole magazine, really cool.
Oh, he's so hot.
Oh, stop it, man! You're embarrassing me. All right, so guys. All right,
You
so
love
I got
Peter Falk? Get the fuck out of here.
yeah. Oh, Jesus. All right, guys. So let's see. We got our trivia today. Princess Bride. Lesley nailed it. The prince. Oh, Brent did too. The Princess Bride. I love that movie. I absolutely love that movie. Well, I can't say that. If you haven't seen it, you got to watch it. It's really good. All right.
Yep.
So here, we're going to do our dumb fun polls.
Be prepared. Hold on to your giblets. It's time for dumb fun and polls. And not the brass kind, ladies.
Wallace Shawn by I Ate Dinner with Andre. That was a good movie too. He was good in
Yeah.
that. I don't know if he's still living or not, but pretty cool. I love it, that movie. They had some great people in that movie. Robin Wright. I can't think of the actor's name. He went on to play in CSI. I mean, CSI.
Yeah, Robin Wright was married to Willie Wrong, right?
Willie
No, that
Wrong.
was he wrong?
Instead of Sharon Wright, he was keeping wrong. And Olga goes giblets. All right, so I got a little slideshow of a bunch of different things this day and all that. So first of all, I love this. I love this stupid shit. I'm sorry that they put on Facebook. Elvis Presley and his father Vernon.
Oh God. Seriously,
He doesn't even look anything near like Vernon.
that's somebody that just has no clue whatsoever. They're just slapping shit up there.
Yeah, private moment away from the spotlight. He's standing out in the middle of a fucking driveway. This quiet exchange, contrasting with Elvis's rising fame as a rock and roll icon, revealed the deep family bonds that grounded him in his meteoric ascent.
What a crack of shit.
All right,
man,
so what you got next? Tell me that's it. Anybody out there?
Don't even tell me somebody says that's Lisa Marie.
Yeah. Or that's Elvis. That's not even Elvis.
No.
Olga goes, what the hell?
Oh God.
All right, so stupid shit. This heartwarming photo captures Elvis Presley in a raw, intimate moment, holding and bonding with his baby daughter, Lisa Marie.
Come on.
Barb
They
goes,
should start. They should start finding these people for being such fucking idiots.
yeah. All right,
I'm
so
sorry.
Elvis's triumphant return to Las Vegas, August 1969. I'm going to jump down to the next paragraph. Moments before the lights dimmed, Elvis sat backstage with his wife Priscilla, sharing a rare moment of quiet intimacy. Away from the frenzy of cameras and fans, he was simply a man driven by anticipation and self-pressure. Tell me what's wrong with that statement. Number one.
Yeah.
She was never backstage with Elvis.
I was just gonna say she was she. I don't think she.
Now here's them. Here's them in their intimate moment.
Oh yeah.
Right in the middle of the showroom. They're actually at the Nancy Sinatra show.
I was just gonna say that's the Nancy
Barbra
Sinatra
Streisand?
show.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
God.
Okay, I put this up by mistake. For some reason, I missed the word Priscilla, and I read Elvis and Lisa Marie, and obviously that's not Lisa Marie, so that's in Hawaii.
Yeah, there she was under that little blanket right there.
Yeah. So Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. was at the peak of his Las Vegas era in February 1973 when he was photographed with Rick and Dave Stanley.
Oh God. Oh Jesus. Oh my Lord. What is that? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Who are those two guys that used to do Vegas with the animals? Oh God.
Sid and
Siegfried. It looks like Siegfried, Roy, and I don't know. Wayne Newton, Siegfried, and Roy.
This one's for Satin.
You can't fix stupid.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. That's good. Really? Oh my God. Renee says Barb. Oh no way. Okay, see what we got next.
Good Lord.
I got some good pictures. No, Elvis was
What the fuck?
Elvis was
What the hell?
I can't even say the word.
What in God's name is going on in that picture?
Oh,
It's Octo Elvis. What the hell? And that's like not even.
how in the hell will you drive that thing?
One wheel going this way and the other two going that way.
That's worse than the. We found the wheel that was missing from Roustabout.
You get the license plate on two tires for the front, one coming out the right side. You got one tire in the back, and then he's sitting on another motorcycle attached.
Of course.
Olga.
I need a drink. What the?
This is Dylan. I love this. I was laughing so hard when I was picking these up. What's up with the bike?
I mean, and who the hell is that even?
That's not even Elvis. I know. It's like.
No.
Oh my God.
So now, obviously, they can't keep with supply and demand because this is from a company that sells Elvis sideburns and Elvis hair for ETAs. They're out of stock right now.
They're out of stock of hair? How do you?
Somewhere in the world, there's a bunch of people running around with Elvis sideburns and wigs on their head.
Oh my God. They ran out of hair?
Yeah, oh my God.
We're all out of sideburns.
I hate to break it to them, but you ain't gonna replenish that hair supply.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
so
boy.
let's get back to the real world. Here's some really cool.
Good Lord in heaven.
Oh,
This is from '69.
oh
Some
my
scary
God.
shit going on out there.
Dylan might know what night he wore that with the red belt like that. I don't know. Lori goes, I'm drinking a Pepsi in honor of Elvis. There you go. Olga goes, cheers, everyone. She's having a drink.
Oh my God.
All right, what do we got next?
Comedy show. I just need to come and do the weekly live.
Well, at least like I said, at least we found that missing wheel from Roustabout.
Oh, yeah, I found a couple of them. Great shot. Great shot. Hey, what's the name of that jumpsuit? What jumpsuit is that, Dylan?
That's
It almost
the
looks like a
Blue Owl.
fireworks. I can't tell.
No, that's the Blue Owl.
Is that the blue owl? Is that blue? It looks black.
Yeah. Under the lights, it's black.
Is it like navy?
Yeah, it's navy blue.
The dark royal blue fireworks. Huh? That was right.
Yeah.
That's a nice suit, though. I like that.
I tell you what, I always liked him in those ones. The Spanish, the Conquistador, is it? And,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, that's cool, too.
red wine here, Rick. Yeah, what? That's my regular show drink right there, in between the coffee. Coffee keeps me awake. The wine just relaxes me. All right, I don't know what I had in my hand. Oh, I guess the mouse. Huh? All right, so red wine or the owl. Oh,
If JD could have his shots on the bandstand behind his legs, I guess you.
Yeah, Leslie says it's the blue firework, also known as the owl because of the belt. The belt has the owl on it. That's a cool belt.
Yeah.
Everyone's heard about the washing story with that, right? Nope, I haven't heard that. Have you guys heard that?
Washing
About what?
story.
Washing story about this jumpsuit?
No.
Somebody put it in the dryer and it shrunk.
Yeah. Well,
No, I never-
call in, Dylan, and tell me on WhatsApp if you got WhatsApp.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, call in if you can. They washed the suit; it turned purple. Oh, I guess we know that. The dye hadn't set in the clothes. Okay, so what we got next? We got this is from Atlanta. I believe they wore the red. That's the concert I was at. They wore the red. The guys wore the red outfits. That's of course, obviously Charlie. And I don't know. I think, but I'm pretty sure that's the Atlanta show that I went to, December 30th, the night before the big New Year's Eve show in Pittsburgh.
Vicksburg.
All right. I thought this was a cool family shot. I don't think I've ever seen this before.
No.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, that's a nice. I mean, you got Gladys actually smiling. Elvis.
I think that was actually I think they were on the set of Loving You, actually.
Were they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, Dylan says loving you, question mark. Yeah, probably. But, she's smiling and you don't, she had a great smile, but it's so sad that in the end, she had a tough one. Dylan and Leslie having a discussion about that jumpsuit. All right, May 4th, 1976, Elvis was at Lake Tahoe. That's the best shot I can get of him. So that happened there 51 years ago. 49 years ago. Here's 50 years ago. This is in Louisiana.
I'm starting to feel old.
I know. Not from there. And then here's the evening show from that same place.
That's the armadillo padding.
And then May 4th, 1958. I think that's at Fort Hood. Which one? Was it Fort Hood and Fort Dixon? Was it?
Fort
the
Hood
one in Arkansas? They changed the name. Fort Chaffee?
Fort Chaffee, yeah.
Yeah.
That was Arkansas.
Yeah, Leslie said they were from there. So if you guys missed it, we had our 15th episode of Inside the Studio. Really some cool songs. This is the one that took us 4 hours to record because of internet outage. And there's a lot of little funny little blips in it. But we had fun with it. Blue Eyes Cry in the Rain is just, it's just so emotional. Such a good song. And, and just the attachment of being.
What a history attached to that song now, too, right?
Yeah. I mean, every time I hear that song, I think of him sitting there at that piano playing that.
Yep, exactly, dude.
With them all there. So, Bossa Nova Baby was a really fun one. I'm gonna, if you watch it, you're gonna be stuck with an image in your head forevermore. Rick, I will look at the pictures again after I have a few drinkies. And then we're back to
okay. Hey, Vernon looks good.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine, So, anyways, I thought those were some pretty good shots and all that.
That was
I
interesting.
do believe we intros of our. So anyway, let's get to the book. Y'all ready for the book? I love.
Looks great.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit Christmassy today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's catch up on some comments real quick before we get in the book. actually, Cam and I decided there's 2 books we're going to cover. Everybody knows, that's been following us, knows that I'm going to cover as many of the Colonel books out there that are worth covering. And so Cam and I made a decision for the next 2. This one's going to be first, is going to be Elvis and the Colonel by Dick Valenga. I've read that. It's actually a decent book, quick read. And then, I don't have a picture, but the book that was written by Greg McDonald, I'm going to do that the next one. On our, it's not going to be on this show. It's going to be different shows during the week because I'm going to try to. We really want to try to spread out some of the books. I got so many books I want to cover, and I'll never get them all done in my lifetime. Yeah, but I'm excited about it. So today, last train to Memphis, we are more than halfway through, and we're at Russwood Park, getting ready to go to Russwood Park. So I took some. I highlighted some notes and all that, and we'll get a discussion going. So far, though, how's everybody been enjoying the book part? Everybody, do you enjoy it? Is it worth hanging around and watching, or let me know? Because
it's a great book.
Yeah, this is such a great book, and we've had some great discussions. And once again, I'll try not to say this again and everything, but to me, we're examining the DNA of the Elvis legacy. How it all came together and where it goes. It's just spiders out. It's, when you talk about little town in Tupelo all the way to, the world, the whole world, even though he never stepped foot in another country other than Germany and Canada, the whole world, it touches him. It's amazing that Japan and even Russia and all that, they I couldn't name you one entertainer out of Russia.
No.
Vladimir? No,
There's a couple of figure skaters, I know that, but other than that, I have nothing.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Rudolph Nureyev. He was a great dancer, wasn't he? And I never really got into that stuff, but that movie that he did with Gregory Hines, is it? Anyway, sorry, I digress. All right, so let's get to the book here. Last train to Memphis. We are at the part where he does the Milton Berle show, the second one. He does the Steve Allen show, and then Russwood Park. So it's really descriptive. I went through those for highlight parts because I have a feeling that the way things are going with this discussion, it's gonna be a lot of discussion. It's just an entertaining time right now in Elvis's life. You're seeing everything, So those people are not going to change me none. We're covering May through July of 1956. That's only 3 months. What's packed into those 3 months is something. There's a shot of him at Russwood Park, July 4th, 1956. Black shirt, black coat, black shoes, red shirt, red socks, and red tie. I think he stood out, don't you think?
A little bit.
Yeah. I see this picture and I think of the scene with Austin Butler. It's just, Austin did a great job with this scene, this part of the movie. Well, he did a great job through all of it, I think. But, it just got the essence of what was going on. Even though it may not be exactly the detail, you got the essence, All right, so.
The pictures from that show are incredible, too.
Oh, you just wish that somebody had recorded it on it professionally.
Yeah, for real.
It'd be something, All right. If his entertainment could be confined to records, it might not be. This is actually written in the Catholic Weekly America. If his entertainment could be confined to records, it might not be too bad an influence on the young, but unfortunately, Presley makes personal appearances. He recently appeared in 2 shows in the Municipal Auditorium of La Crosse, Wisconsin. According to the La Crosse paper, his movements and motions during a performance, described as a strip tease with clothes on, were not only suggestive but downright obscene. The youngsters at the shows, 4,000 at one, about 1,200 at the second, literally went wild, some of them actually rolling in the aisles. And that kind of sentiment was really everywhere, as far as the adult part in the news and you know even today journalists don't realize that whatever negative things you say are almost better publicity for the person than the ones that aren't.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like remember. I'm sorry. Remember, like, what was it like? Oh God, about 30 years ago, when Al Gore's wife wanted to put those explicit lyrics on all the album covers.
oh yeah, yeah,
That had like the same thing like you're talking about. It had that reverse effects. The teenagers were like, "Ooh, maybe I'll get that one."
yeah, yeah. I'm putting in case anybody wants to call and say anything. This is the phone number for WhatsApp and for Google Voice. But yeah, I mean that says a lot. I mean that just describes the whole sentiment. Let me get to the comments here. Actually, you know what? Let me look at it this way. Let me caught it. Absolutely. You've heard my Egypt Elvis story. Yes, I have not, Lesley. I'll tell us some other time. Yeah, Lesley, we need. I need to talk to you. We're going to schedule a time when she comes on the show and shares. So we're going to work that out. Lori, they were just going to church. Yeah. If they could only see and hear today's performances.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, Billy Idol can be glad he didn't make it in the 50s. He'd be locked up for indecency.
Oh, the crap out there is just unbelievable. It's all, you know. Yeah, there was obviously a lot of sex involved. You know, not actual sex, but it was very sexual. Of him, but that's not what he wanted to put out. And you know, there was I don't know. Somebody tell me the right word. There was a aura.
It was like an aura. That's the word I was going to use.
Yeah, there was an aura about him, and you know, I knew one person in my life that had an aura like that, and it was just you were around him, and you just wanted to be around him and chat with him, and you know, everybody loved him, and you know, he had no enemies really. He never went to be a star, but he was very, extremely successful in his career. Lesley, Elvis was so strong, going through. You know what? Let me do this. Hide that for a second. Gotta catch up here. What am I showing? I got one. Oh, it just disappeared. Elvis so strong. CCAT. If you could only see, yeah. I mean, even you know the Taylor Swift and anybody out there, even Michael Jackson was, you know, to me was just a little grabbing his crotch and all that. That I just, you know. But anyways, that's the date. You know, look what the Stones started out, little neighborhood newsboys type, and look what they became. You know.
Can you imagine if Elvis did that in the 50s, grabbed himself in front of people?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, look at the comparison to like when Michael Jackson did it. It was like, oh, you know, what a spectacular dance move. If Elvis did that in the 50s, they would have burned him at the stake.
Yeah.
Someone's all got to do something more, I won't say better, but they got to be more outlandish.
And that's what a lot of people like Michael Jackson fans, and I mean, I'm sure most people get it, but Elvis opened that door for those people to do those things on stage. He was the guy that took the bullet. He took the bullet for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, he set the standard at the beginning, but and you know what? He maintained that. You know, though he changed. You know how he presented himself changed in a lot of ways, but he always maintained that. To me, I always thought he was there was nothing indecent about what he did.
No,
I never thought that.
No, he just moved his hips around. There was really nothing suggestive going on.
he was responding the way his body
Felt the
interpreted
music.
the music.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I got to check something. You know, it can go all day, and they never go out there and bark at the house behind us. I go live and the whole time. So let's see. Let's get back to the book. Now, see, that's what I love about discussing this book. We really get into some of the the intimate details of, may not be written, but we know what we've heard before, if you guys know what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next comment here was juvenile delinquency, a widespread breakdown of morality and cultural values, race mixing, here we go, riots, and irreligion, all were being blamed on Elvis Presley and rock and roll by a national press that was seemingly just awakening to the threat. The popularity of the new music among the young, and of course, the circulation gains that could always be anticipated from a great hue and cry. Okay, buddy. You're coming in. Sorry, guys. So, juvenile delinquency. He's to blame.
Oh, of course.
He sang Heartbreak Hotel. He sang That's All Right, Mama. He sang I Got a Woman. And all of a sudden, the juveniles went bananas. They started they started burning down buildings, and they started stealing, and they bullshit.
The thing, I think Elvis said it, he made a statement about that. He's like, I don't know how they blame juvenile delinquency on music. He's like, it's not music. The only reason why there's juvenile delinquency is because there's bad parenting.
Yeah, you're right, Rich. I think he spoke about that in the Army press conference. Right?
He did. You're right. That's it.
Yeah,
they asked him outright.
There's a big difference. There's a difference between being sexy and being distasteful.
Yeah.
Perfect. Exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody knows I grew up in the 60s. It was an integral part of how music affected me, so I saw the explosion. I will always say that it was the best time ever to grow up with music. And my parents watched what I got. And it wasn't really much to watch, at that time. They didn't have all the explicit labels and all that shit, And but when they would see a band, I never got into heavy metal, headbanging stuff. I couldn't stand the Grateful Dead and stuff like that. But none of the music of listening to the Beatles or the Stones or Led Zeppelin ever caused me to want to steal, to burn down something or become a juvenile delinquent. Especially when you sit there and listen to Led Zeppelin. I know one day my mom heard it, and she never really liked a lot of that type. She was more into country. But, she would listen and she'd go, don't listen to that stuff. That's just loud. And it was the first album, which was really a blues album. My dad came home from a trip, and I put it on. It started off with Babe, I'm Going to Leave You. And he walked in there, and he sat down and listened to the whole album with me. He said, it's pretty good. He loved it. He liked it too, And
good song.
Stupid. He got blamed for so much shit.
No disrespect to the older generation listening to us and watching us, but if Elvis was classified as being vulgar and being sexually suggestive, then I suppose every child that was conceived up to the age of 1958 was conceived immaculately through the air.
Well, I'd be one of those because I was born in '58, man.
Yep.
That's funny. That's funny.
Good point.
All right, back to the book. Let's see what I got next. We got. Oh, what the hell? Oh, that's the wrong. Oh, you sucker. How did I do that? Last train. Man. I don't know why it's not. Oh, I know why. Stupid thing hides. I can't see oh, there it goes. Monday, June 11th, for the funeral of his cousin Lee, Edward Smith, Gene and Junior's brother, who had drowned. Coming back from the funeral with his parents, he drove up to the house and found June 𝐂𝐫𝐞𝐿, a pretty little girl he had dated one night when he played Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi almost a year before, standing in line with all the others. I've always thought that was that was a probably one of his best relationships he had.
I think you're right on that. I gotta agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For that
I've
time, yeah.
I've got the book by her, and I don't, is it her or her daughter that wrote it? I'd have to check. But anyway, I want to read that. I've never read it,
No, it was
so
her.
so
She
maybe
wrote
we
it.
should. She did write it.
Yeah, I got that book too.
Yeah. So and it's not a real long book. We could cover that in one live chat. I would love to do that. God, we got so many books. We
I
might as well
gotta say,
we ought to just stay live and go 24/7, and we'll just take naps.
Yeah.
no,
I would do it in a heartbeat if I could. You
Yeah.
know, I don't think you guys are going to want to see me take off my hat. I mean, I can get orders when they get back in stock. I can order some of those sideburns and hair.
oh god.
I'm going to read that. I'm going to read what she's saying.
Oh goodness.
Lesley loves June's book. Yeah, I've heard good stuff about it. I need to read it. I really need to read it.
Yeah, it was a very sweet book.
You know,
Yeah,
honestly, a lot of people won't agree with me. I think, honestly, I really think she was a better fit for him. Say, if you want to compare to, like, say, people in those few years, I think she was a better fit for him than actually Anita would be.
Yeah, because she didn't have any hang up. She didn't have any hang ups. She didn't. She couldn't care if
That's
Elvis
the
was
thing of it.
famous or not.
June had that. Looks like it was like Elvis. She looked good up front, and she had that kind of almost like a wild side to her, a little bit.
she had a very exotic look.
Yeah. So I think they were
thought
like she was almost like the female version of Elvis in a sense.
Yeah, you could tell she was a bit of a, lack of a better term, a tomboy.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what Elvis. One of those things that Elvis like loved about her. She wasn't like too prissy or whatever, you know.
I think she
Yeah, I
was
mean,
as hard headed as him, laughing aloud. She dumped him at the train station. She's a hard cookie, a sharp cookie.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
and in a certain way, sorry, I'm jumping in here. In a certain
Good.
way, I think in a certain way that's what attracted him to certain women too. It's because
Yeah.
as much as he verbally said no, he didn't like to be told what to do. I think he liked having the the comfortability of being with a partner that would kind of keep him at not on a short leash, but kind of have the balls to say to him, "Okay, hang on now,
Right. Right. Yeah.
you're really going hell for leather now."
Yeah.
See what Lesley said? If I ever tune in and you're sitting there in the Elvis hair and sideburns, I'm off.
That's it.
That's funny.
That's
Yeah,
the line. That's the line.
yeah.
The line in the
I'm a
sand.
huge. I really, I got to read the book. I got to. Hey, Cam, you and we need to talk. I need to talk with Rich too. Rich is going to be. I'm hoping things are getting to the point where you can start hooking up a little bit more, doing some lives with us on the inside the studio when we do go live. But Cam and I are dead set on creating some actual confirmed times every week, so y'all can know when. I keep thinking of like the morning book review every morning. Good morning with Rick and Cam, stuff like that. But not everybody. It won't be morning for everybody, and that's the thing. If I did it at 6 a.m. here, how much? I'm not going to get
I,
this country.
I like that 24-hour thing where people could just keep you guys up on the thing 24 hours a day.
Yeah, you know what? There's some people that do that, man.
Yeah.
And I can't do it because there are
Too
some
bad.
people, I don't know.
Like
Even though I'm here alone all the time, so it doesn't.
a 24-hour Blue Moon channel with just like all different things playing.
Yeah, and as we sit here, my beard gets longer.
Yeah. Fast forward it through time.
Here, oh yeah, there's some good comments here. Come here. So, oh wow, geez, am I far behind? June and Elvis were so compatible together. I think the same thing.
I think so too.
Anne Margaret was a bit. Yeah, Anne Margaret. There's no doubt she was a tomboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my motor whistles. Ooh, I don't blame it.
Oh, but there was a side to her that only certain people saw, and I think I saw that in her too, and I think that was half of the attraction. this pretty girl look, but under the
Yeah.
waterline, there's a devil in disguise there.
All right. Yep.
Yeah, Lesley makes point too that Linda Thompson fits both the tomboy brief and being straight with Elvis. Yeah, I really like. There's a lot of people that don't like Linda, but I'm a fan of hers. I still think she's always been very respectable of his
Yeah.
legacy. Like Jerry Schilling and J.D. Sumner and there's a good amount of people that are very loyal to him. Never bothered writing a book. or
Linda's a
including-
good person, man. Come on now.
Yeah, yeah,
I hate those people that sit there. Well, she spent all his money. Let me tell you something. She wrote that in her book that it wasn't anything that Elvis didn't want her to spend. He gave her a card and said, "Do what you got to do." Now,
Yeah.
if you can't tell me that if you're dating Elvis Presley, he hands you his American Express card, says, "Go to town with yourself," that you're not gonna.
Yeah.
So.
Leslie says I could tie my beard over my head to hold my wig on.
So, that's really the only thing they ever got on her. That it's just so silly. It's like, come on.
Yeah,
No, and I think the only reason why he did that with Linda is because he knew Linda's intentions were honest. She really did.
He could trust her. Exactly.
Yeah, she really did. She really did care about him, and to be
Exactly.
honest, she didn't
Was it-
really give a rat's ass whether he was Elvis Presley or not, and
Right.
she wasn't scared to open her mouth to him if
Yeah.
she felt he was being unfair, if she felt he was being an asshole. She
Uh-huh.
called him out on it. But everyone prior to her and after her were almost as though they wanted to be with Elvis and they wanted to be there, but as soon as it called for them to step up to the plate and show some authority and show some true affection, they all got starry eyed again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Wasn't last
he
year the
knew
first year that Linda actually attended Elvis Week?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here,
I believe it was.
I'm going to put him right here for Rich.
Oh, jeez.
I keep looking at a circle bouncing. and I'm
See,
like,
now, if you did a 24-hour a day thing and, we didn't go shower or shave and nothing, I probably might wind up looking like that.
yeah, I can't. Yeah, I've met Linda. Oh, we gotta get Lesley on this show. Oh, she's got.
I would think I look more like Dr. Evil.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. All right, so let's see, Lesley. Correct. I didn't definitely. LT was good for Elvis, but she was too soft, no fire in her belly to kick him into touch. I think she might have put him in place a few times.
Yeah.
No, I think she did as much as she can, and she's very candid about. She's very candid about it. She said that she knew that when she left in '75, she said she knew she couldn't love that life anymore because Elvis had given up. He'd gotten to the point where things had just become too difficult, and she said she knew if she stayed, she was either going to die with him or she was going to leave
Yeah.
and try and make something of her life. And she never ever said that she left because she wanted to, or she left because she was tired. She left
Yeah.
because she realized that's unfortunately where the situation was, and
Yeah, it
she
wasn't going to change.
she realized that if she stays, she's gonna go the same road that he goes, and they're gonna be in the pits of hell together, or she's gonna bail out and hope to be a voice of reason from the sideline, which for a short time she was.
Yeah. I like the fact that she. What song was it she wrote that he sang? Didn't she?
I will always love you. Oh, no, that was.
that
I'm
was
thinking of something else.
Dolly
Oh,
Parton.
God.
I could have sworn that she wrote or had part in the writing of a song, or maybe it was after she left. I know she did some song. She was married to what, David Foster or something. What was it?
Yeah.
David Brooks.
Then she married Brucey Jenner.
Yeah,
Hey,
boy.
Johan, glad you made it. Good to see you. Yeah, Linda still loves Elvis. I believe so.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
I believe that.
She never stopped loving him.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, guys,
We're getting off the beaten path.
I know what's again. That, hey, it's fun. All right. We'll have to move.
And a person has to think about it from this perspective too, from the human perspective too.
Yeah.
Um, People have to give her credit, as everyone else, with the exception of a couple, which I'm not going to name now. But I think it was a very difficult decision for her to make, because she said she knew when she left. She said she knew she would never see him alive again.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So, that must have been extremely difficult for her to do, to leave a situation,
Yeah.
and to leave somebody that she cared about deeply, knowing that he was on this path of self-destruction,
Yeah.
and not even she could reach through to him. Not even she could give him the strength he needed to
That's a
pull
really,
out.
really, really hard emotion to go through when you're around somebody. When you're around somebody that's close to you, and it's not that often you do that, and then you know for some reason you got instinct in your head to know that that's going to be the last time you see that person. You
Yeah.
know, I have that. I'll get a little personal here, but I have. Everybody knows I have two deaf brothers that follows me, and one of them's coming next month. He's got some kind of thing they're going to out of the country, so he's going to fly out of Atlanta because he got really good rates, and he's going to stop and see us. Now, the last time I saw him has been at least 7 years ago. Other than through Zoom, but to physically see him. So, I think about that when he comes here. I've been thinking about that I really hope this isn't the last time I get to actually sit in the same room with him and talk, because when we do, I'm back. I'm a 12-year-old kid again when we talk, and it's such good emotions, but it's going to be hard, when they come and he hasn't seen me since I got into the condition I'm in now, and so that's kind of hard. I don't want him to see me this way, but you know what? I've gotten to the point where I don't give a shit anymore what people think. I am who I am. So, anyways, I digress. Sorry, guys. All right, so let me get this closer. I don't know why my eyes have been blurry lately. NBC, on the other hand, had no doubts, not sure quite how to react to the furor that has surrounded the most recent Milton Berle show. This is the one where Deborah Paget comes out and he does a couple scenes with Milton Berle. Absolutely loved Elvis, man. The network put out conflicting press releases, and Steve Allen, who had already signed Elvis to a one-shot appearance at $7,500, he had received $3,000 and $5,000 respectively for Berle shows. He stated on the late night Tonight show that there has been a demand that I cancel him from our show. As of now, he is still booked for July 1st, but I have not come to a final decision on his appearance. If he does appear, you can rest assured that I will not allow him to do anything that will offend anyone. And of course, we know. Oh, okay, cool. I'll post that. Lesley just sent me the link to the song that she wrote for Elvis. Here we are at the stages of doing two huge TV appearances. And this is, before Ed Sullivan and all that. And I think it's the Steve Allen show that helped Ed Sullivan make the decision that we're going to put him on the show, because wasn't it Steve Allen that beat him on the ratings that night?
Yes.
Yeah.
And originally, I think the price for Elvis to be on the show, I was like, I don't know, like around 10 grand or something.
Yeah, he was the highest paid at the time to ever appear on the show.
And then when Ed wanted him, originally when he said he didn't want him, Parker turned around and drove up the price after Allen beat him in the ratings. So they wound up paying, Sullivan wound up paying Elvis 50 grand to appear on the show.
I need to catch up here. Oh, Susan attended a funeral for I'm sorry, Susan, to hear that. We're having a discussion about not seeing people again, and that's I'm so happy to I'm so sad to hear that. I mean, that's just hard, especially with friends too. But we
Sorry,
all,
Susan.
yeah, we're thinking of you, and I hope this show can at least give you some what I don't know.
Comfort.
Thank you. Such simple words.
It's all right, dude. You got a lot going on.
Yeah. So, I am going to Where You Are. Oh, and it was sung by Josh Groban. I wonder how much. Oh, well, I'll see if I can. Let's get through this book some more. I'm going to post the link to the video that she just sent me for that messenger, Lesley. Copy link address. Do. I just posted in the link the video. What the hell's that little show? So copy the link and you can see it. Didn't mean to be a downer. You don't worry about it, Susan. You're not a downer. Things happen. I know it's a tough time. It really is to go through that, and I can really appreciate that. So don't feel bad. Please do not feel bad. We're happy to see you here so that we can talk to you, and hopefully, like Rich said, give you at least some kind of comfort and maybe take your mind off it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But please don't have that feeling, because we don't.
Yeah.
We don't think, this is a family.
It's something, in a situation like that, you feel like you have nobody, or you can't turn to anybody or talk to anybody. That's why we're all kind of one big family. We're here for each other.
Yeah. So don't, please don't feel bad. We're here for you. Like we said, this is a family, and when something happens to somebody, we want to send what we can. You're definitely welcome, Susan. All right, so let's get back to the book. So now we're getting ready to get to Russwood part. Excuse me. Okay, did it change? No. All right. Elvis went on playing as Steve Allen entered, surrounded by his entourage. He was then introduced to the star, who gave him a rather flippant greeting. Now, this scene right here is that scene where Elvis, in the movie Elvis, when Austin's sitting at the piano playing and they're talking about, he brings in a tuxedo and all that. So this is kind of around that, obviously they did a little more creative stuff in there. So he's sitting there, he's playing, introduced the star, who gave him a rather flippant greeting. Allen eyed him much as an eagle does a piece of meat, recalled Hill and Range rep Grulin Landon, to whom the offbeat, hip-talking comedian had always been one of my gods, and was handed a script for a Western skit called Range Roundup, playing the part of a tumbleweed. Steve Allen did everything he could to humiliate Elvis, make him look like some dumb country hick. Now, Elvis played those skits really damn good. I thought he did very well, and he played the game and all that, but he knew what they were doing. And, so this is my thinking. This is happening right now at Steve Allen, and he's getting all this press about how, he should be not, dancing like that. Everybody's telling him. Now we're getting to the point when he says that nobody in New York's going to change me, playing the part of Elvis rehearsed with Allen, Andy Griffith, and Imogen Coca. A secretary whispered to Steve as they wrapped up the rehearsal, recorded Weltmeyer, he's a photographer. He turned to Elvis, who was studiously flipping back and forth through a script, and said, "The tailor's here." Elvis looked up, confused, and replied, "Yes, sir. What about? Remember, you're wearing the tails while you're singing to the hound dog." And Elvis goes, "Oh, yeah, I remember." You know what? And I think that right there. I don't think he never. I personally don't think he ever forgave Steve Allen for that.
No.
He never really talked to. Yeah, he used to talk about Ed Sullivan being on the show and all
Yeah.
that. Would joke around, some bitch type of thing. But Steve Allen. The best thing he could do to get back at Steve is never mention it.
Well, he kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know if you read about it or whatever, but years later, he kind of got Steve Allen back a little bit in Vegas. Steve was at one of his shows. He called him out while he was on the stage, and he said, you had me on your show, and you kind of embarrassed me and all that. He kind of went into him a little bit, but like how the way Elvis does it to get his point across, but he kind of did it almost in a joking way. So he kind of got him back a little bit, like he called him out in front of all those people in Vegas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Barb says Elvis always took the high road. He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Allen was just ridiculing Elvis from the start to finish. The fact that he did it shows Elvis's strength of character.
Yeah.
The best thing Steve Allen wanted to happen is for Elvis to say, "No, I'm not going to do it."
Because that's a blatant insult, not only to you as an artist, but to you as a human being. Have you come out there, you're going on TV, you're singing a song, and you have to stand and look at a damn basset hound while you're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
He took it in stride. He kind of smiled. And he grabbed the dog by and sang to it, and he did his part. And
You think in a sense, I mean, I never looked at it this way. Maybe I'm just getting delirious. You think in a certain sense, he was kind of almost mocking the Milton Berle show from when Elvis did Hound Dog on the Milton Berle show. So you think in any kind of way Milton Berle could have taken that personally as well, the way it was being done on Steve Allen's show?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I understand what you're saying. On the Milton Berle show, he did what now?
No.
He mocked Steve Allen?
No. The thing was, Elvis did Hound Dog on
Right.
Milton Berle. That's what really set people off. So now, you see Steve Allen trying to clean up Elvis and put the tails on him. Now, is that kind of almost insulting Milton Berle in a certain way too? You know what I mean? For letting Elvis be.
That's actually a pretty good point.
I would see it that way too, yeah, tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I tell you what, of all the people, Ed Sullivan and Milton Berle were true gentlemen. Ed Sullivan, he showed true colors, and he was a man about it.
Yeah.
Because he criticized Elvis, I'll never have, and then, of course, remember the last show.
Yeah.
This is a fine, nice boy. He praised him.
Yeah, and he pretty much said, that was Ed's way of saying I was wrong about him. You know?
Yeah. And I mean, he quieted the audience to make that statement, and he did. He came out.
He did, yeah.
He said, "I mocked this guy."
Yeah, watch Elvis'
said that-
impression too.
Yeah, he said, "I mocked this guy, and I was with everyone else, and said, yeah, he's a loser and whatever.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is a fine, outstanding young man, and anytime you want to come back, you're more than welcome."
Yeah,
Right. I think that really helped. In a lot of ways, that really helped a lot of his detractors that were against him. You know what I mean? I think that really helped Elvis at that point.
Yeah, ending it with a gospel song.
Yeah.
Peace in the Valley. That
Yeah,
he did.
and it was actually the NBC and the studio that requested him to do a gospel song.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you think about it, at the time in that statement, Ed Sullivan redeemed himself too, because prior to that, everybody thought that Ed was an arrogant, pompous asshole that had no respect for anyone, and that
Right.
just oozed arrogance on TV. And then when he came out and he literally ate his hat with ketchup on national television,
Yeah.
I think that made everybody look at him after that and say, you know what, maybe Ed isn't such a bad guy.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
That's a great point.
Leslie made the point about some of the skits on Milton Berle. They were really good, and there was a lot of ad-libbing, and you could see the true laughter coming out of Elvis. He
Look
would
at the
laugh.
whole 𝐂𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐥𝐸 skit.
Yeah, everything. You know,
It was just naturally funny. You know what I mean?
Milton Berle was hilarious.
Oh, God.
He was
Now, if
easy
you
to.
had to say, you think Elvis was standing here, and you say, which show did you like the most in that year? Do you honestly think he would say Milton Berle show?
Yeah, I think he would. I think it would be his favorite show of doing.
I think so too.
Yeah, Leslie had a good
He
point
just
there.
seems so comfortable. If you look at a lot of the pictures and the videos, Elvis just looked like he was just so comfortable in the moments. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, and you know he had a crush on Deborah Paget before that show too.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
this is before he did Love Me Tender, and you know that was a great scene when she comes out and Milton Berle says Elvis Presley goes, and she just
Keep buying them records.
yeah, keep buying his records, folks.
I used to stick. What he said? I used to stick grasshoppers down his pants.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen it, check it on YouTube. There's
Yeah.
some good skits from it. You know, well, I really wish they could really get some really good, very good, proper, high definitions of the. You know, look at
Oh yeah.
you can't get a good one of the Frank Sinatra show. I've never seen one. Everything
No.
looks like he's standing there with a
Yeah.
halo around him. You know,
Exactly.
yeah, it would be good. But if you could get, you know, if somebody was good enough to be able to take it and not make it look like you know he's a wax figure moving around like some of them come out. Somebody that really knows what they're doing.
Right. Yeah.
Probably like what Boz has done with the Elvis on tour stuff. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of there that had to be enhanced, but I can't wait till that comes out. I am so pumped. I'm putting money aside to buy whatever it has because I have a feeling it's going to have a little bit of a price on it. But anyway, all right, guys, let's finish off this book. So how did it go yesterday at the recording studio? The colonel asked him in the restaurant car as Wertheimer. Everybody knows that he's a photographer. Recorded the event. Elvis replied blandly, "It went pretty well." The colonel carried on the conversation. "The reaction was terrific on the Steve Allen show. Better than I thought." Elvis shrugged. He seemed unimpressed. "Glad to hear it." This appeared to be a routine. The colonel would start a conversation and Elvis would end it. "It's going to be good to get back home. I'm sure your folks will be mighty glad to see you," said the colonel. "Yeah, it'll be good to see him." That was the end of the conversation. The colonel looked out the window. Tom Diskin shopped. Junior talked to Elvis, and Elvis ate his sandwich. It was two generations sitting at separate tables. That gives you an image of the whole thing. Then, you could tell Elvis was unhappy that the colonel put him in that situation.
Exactly. That's the feeling I got.
Yeah.
That's like Elvis saying to the colonel between the lines, "F you."
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're getting towards the. Let's see what anybody said. Have we got any? No, I only got one to go. Hello, all. Very busy today, guys. Hey, Kathleen. Nice to see you. Yeah, it's been. I've had a kind of eventful week with thunderstorms, so I can appreciate that. Glad you can make it at this point. So now we're getting close. I think we're at the Rustwood Park. Then it was time for Elvis to go on, and Dewey did an imitation of the old Elvis and the new Elvis as a squadron of police, firemen, and shore patrol escorted him to the stage. He was dressed all in black, save for red socks and the red tie, which he and his father had picked out just before the show. And as he sauntered out and greeted Dewey with the casual grace, saluting his fans and acknowledging his family, in the front row, the place literally exploded. The fans broke from their seats, except swept like a wave up to the stage. That's the build-up to Rustwood Park.
Wow.
Standing on the stage, he had to look so freaking sharp in that black red tie. You know,
Can you just imagine being in that crowd, like the first few rows? Yeah, I'm like, oh my God.
That's why anytime anybody says at what point in time would you like to go to in Elvis's where you can just spend one show or whatever, I have a hard time choosing between July 3rd, '69 and Rustwood Park, July 4th. It's hard because you're witnessing two epic times in Elvis's career.
That's right. I'm with
Yeah.
you. I think I'd be rough for me.
Yeah. I think I would do Rustwood too because
Because that was when he was at his best period at any point, in my opinion.
and he was right at that point in time he was freaking defiant.
Yeah. He had the whole rebellious thing going. It was raw. It was the music he wanted to play. Everything, you know.
Yeah. Lesley, yeah, Rustwood Park in Memphis. Yeah, you know what? That's the third one there. Those are three. Anyway, when the furor finally died down and Elvis had graciously accepted a city proclamation designated Witnesses Day, July 4th, as Elvis Presley Day, he turned to the crowd and he announced with that inscrutable mixture of boyish charm and adult calculation, "You know these people in New York are not going to change me none. I'm going to show you what the real Elvis is like tonight." And the next line is, "And he did." Mm-hmm. That was a proclamation of defiance. You know, basically his, like you said, "Fuck you, Steve Allen."
Yeah, that was it. That was a shot at probably Parker too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the whole, yeah. But, you know, in turn, if it never happened, here's the what if. If that never happened on Steve Allen, he never did that show, would Rustwood Park become as
epic as it was?
As epic as it was, because there was it would have been just another regular concert that he did.
That's a good point.
I mean, you just think about the little things.
Yeah.
That just one little thing in his career that could have changed another. My wife says I'm insane because I sit there and I think this stuff through and think, well, what if, what if, what if? She goes, "Stop with the what ifs." I go, "Well, what if you leave the room and leave me alone?"
Yeah. What if you shut the door on your way out and don't come back?
Goes, "Well, go shopping." Yeah, Barb says, "I would have loved to have been in the audience for Elvis's Rustwood Park show."
Yeah.
Yeah, Lesley says she thinks Barbara Hearn was there that night.
Yes, she was.
Yeah, amazing. All right, so what do we got next? So he rocked them, wrote Johnson, socked them, set them screaming with delight as his sensational, individualistic song style. That's, talk about innuendos. His song style throbbed out over the frenzied stadium. He opened with Heartbreak Hotel, threw in Mystery Train and I Got a Woman, brought out the Jordanaires for I Want You, I Need You, I Love You, and I Was the One, roared back with Blue Suede Shoes and Long Tall Sally, and ended, of course, after half an hour with Hound Dog. A half an hour show.
What a damn show. Listen to that song lineup. Holy crap.
What is, I Was the One is one of my favorite ballads by him. And I Want You, I Need You, I Love You. Everything else was just in your face rock and roll, early rock and roll.
Can you picture him doing like Mystery Train there? Oh.
Yeah, hearing DJ just doing a train ride. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
All right, guys. Well, that's what I got from the book, because I figured we wound up talking about this for almost an hour, so that's pretty cool. Great discussion. Let's catch up, see what is going on. We'll kind of rehash everything. We've been going almost 2 hours. I can't believe almost 2 hours. I think Barbara was sitting next to Dodger at Rustwood all after. Yeah.
Yes, I've seen many pictures of it, actually.
Have you?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's cool, Lesley. You can. We can have a 2 hour live chat with Lesley talking about all this. I would love to do that. Today we were supposed to introduce you. We were going to have the Elvis Effect channel that we highlighted a few weeks back, and I invited him to come on and introduce him. And we had hoped today would do it, but they had a family event going on, so we're going to schedule him to come in and have him come in and join us, because it's a grandfather and his son, and they're a fairly new channel. They're just under 1,000 subscribers. I want to do whatever I can to kind of promote them, but they do great reviews. The grandson is, I would say he's in his mid-20s. The grandfather's probably close to my age, maybe a little bit younger. And I love their chatter because it's nice to see, first of all, a young generation getting turned on by Elvis. And it's great to see a relationship between a grandfather and a grandson, given the way things are. Yeah, Lesley says yes, there were pictures. That was only one chapter of the book, and it just goes to show you what I love doing this book review. I love doing this, and I hope everybody else. I'm not too concerned about how long it's going to take because we're having a great discussion, and then in between, we're going to do some little shorter books on live chats and discuss them. And I want to get through the Colonel books, get it done before the new one comes out in August. And I'm still pondering, and I'll probably still do it just for the sake of taking the bullet to go ahead and get Priscilla's book. And I'm going to read Elvis and Me and that one right after. And I'm going to do a lot of notations about differences, which I'm sure they're going to be. But supposedly, her book is supposed to be only about everything that happened after Elvis died and her life since then. But we know that that's not going to be, because there's going to be
we'll see about that.
There's going to be too much references. But yeah, their channels, the Elvis Effect, they are great. So I'll put their link down below too. I got to make notes. I got a lot of linking to do. No polls, but a little linking. Anyway, we will be doing our radio show live concert in Memphis. We were going to do it this last weekend, but with all the internet problems I had, it took us forever to get the inside the studio done. So I was exhausted by that end to have to get up. But we're thinking about doing the concert corner between 10 and 11 a.m. on Saturdays. That means that'll cover the UK, the mid Europe, and it'll cover the States, because if we do it at 11, then they'll be getting it at 8 in the morning. It's an hour show, live concert. Cam and I are going to be live in it. We're going to take phone calls to talk. We're just going to have a great jam session. But we got other stuff going on.
That's me. I just sent you the picture of Barbara at next to Dodger at Rustwood Park.
Oh, that's a pretty cool picture. All right. Well, shit. Sorry, guys. Oh yeah, look at there. That's Dodger.
Yep. There's Gladys, Dodger, and Barbara. And you can see the security. You can see the security of the guys from the Navy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, I'm popping it up. I'm going to pop it up now. Upload it. Okay, so where did it go? It's right there. It's very cool. There we go. Upload.
Is Olga still on? I love Olga's Elvis sunglasses. I'm on Facebook, so I just came across it.
Yeah, she went to the James Dean Museum, and really cool pictures. If you haven't seen it,
I'm jealous. I love James Dean.
Add new layer, media files. There you go, guys. Here's Dodger, Barbara Hearn right to her left in the polka dot top.
Yep.
Look at all the police around it. Is that Gladys to the right of Dodger? That's Gladys, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think Vernon was next to.
Yeah, you can see.
Red, actually, Red West is right next to Barbara Hearn. He was protecting her for Elvis.
Cool picture. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Comments. What is it? Somebody sawing something? So, all I can say, Leslie, great minds think alike. All right.
Morning, Wilbur.
All right. So, guys,
Oh hell! He hit the wrong button.
Uh-oh.
He hit that button on the top of the
Rick has left the building. Rick was abducted by aliens. Oh my goodness. So what happened that happened? Maybe it's his
No, he has on the new computer. He has a set of keys on the top of the keyboard that are like shortcut keys, and
Sorry,
every
guys.
Oh,
time
there he is.
his finger
I don't know what
nails
the hell I
button,
hit. I just
bailed
felt
out.
it deleted me.
Yeah, you bet. One of those top keys on your keyboard is a shortcut to bail you out.
Yes, he hit the eject button.
Yeah.
Where's 𝐿𝐷evorum? Oh, yeah. Where's 𝐿𝐷evorum? Here we go.
The Blue Moon guys have left the building. Thank you. Good night.
Yes, sir.
Mulder and Scully in the house. Yeah, we got some new. We got a few cool new sound effects. Some that have been made suggestions from. This is from Aliens.
Maybe you haven't been keeping up on current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal.
Yeah. So anyway, it's fun doing this. We appreciate everybody that comes and watches us and what comes to our other shows, and we're having a blast. Cam and I and Rich, we're having a blast. We talk about it after the shows, and there's just so much things that we're gonna do, and it's just like I want to get it all done now, but I can't get it all done now, and I can only do some things one at a time, but we're excited about the channel. We're excited about the store. I think everybody could feel comfortable ordering something from the store, even though we have had one issue with delivery, but everything has still been delivered.
Yep.
And then everyone else gets it. It's a custom made to order. So once you get the order, it's going to be 3 weeks before you get it. And so just to keep that in mind. It's not like Amazon. So the web page I'm updating today. I've been behind. Last week I was sick, so I wasn't able to get to the web page. The newsletter is really basically finished, but I'm going to reorganize some things, considering that I want to add the CGF stuff and the stuff with the ranch, and then want to highlight the Epic. I love that name. What a brilliant name, Epic. I'm going to take the monkey off Rich's back.
Thanks. Appreciate
Yes.
it.
Saturday show was awesome. That we had good fun again with Saturday show. That was almost the same kind of energy as the Burning Love show.
Yeah, but I got to laughing so hard at the end. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to really spoil it, but Cam and I really got into it. I was kind of worried about starting off with a slow song, but I think it was better. We started off with Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, and that first track, it got me. It really got me emotionally thinking about it, because it wasn't a finished product, so you can hear all the instruments. And I felt like I closed my eyes and I felt like I was in the room. I felt like I was sitting there in the freaking room.
Yeah, looking back at it now, thinking about it, we didn't really pick it up while we were recording it, but watching it last night again too, it was actually 100% right in pacing, because we started off slow, and then we went to a little more middle class upbeat one,
a little bit different flavor and all that.
And then at the end was like the cherry on the cake type of thing.
Yeah, guys, real quick too, I think I mentioned this earlier, but I want to mention it again. Leslie just brought it up. So on my Facebook page, on my channel, YouTube channel, I'll put the link in there. Please share that. I did a short to kind of highlight it and bring attention to the video, but about the ranch and the condition it's in now. And we kind of want to put it out there so the owners will see that we're out there. The more, listen, when you post things on Facebook, not everything gets through. Sometimes it takes a while, and everybody takes that as a negative. I don't take it as a negative. I just take it as a, just a just kind of a little bit of a roadblock. But, if we started going negative on it, feeling, say, hey, this ain't working, nobody's posting it, you don't know. I mean, we've gotten some decent response, really nice response from the videos. Nothing really negative about it. And it's just, the live chat. If you get a chance, take a listen to our live chat. I got a lot of stuff to put links down below, but I'll do that. I'll have it done by tonight. You'll have the links to all the things we talked about. And Lesley, it really turned out really good because Lesley answered a lot of questions, talked a lot about it, talked with the owners. So take a listen to it. I think it's about an hour and a half long. And it's a great chat. And I think we're going to need to. I think we need to do another one soon to kind of update, bring us where we're at, because we've had some. Leslie's got some nice correspondence to the congressmen in that area, and they've replied, which is amazing because usually it takes a lot, but the more emails we send, the more they're going to want to oil that wheel to shut us up. But we need everybody to get involved, like Lesley says. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So it's gonna take a while, but we want to see something done. And if we have to, I hate to put it this way, but if we have to try to shame the owners for allowing something to get in this condition, then so be it.
We do it. Yeah.
So be it. This is all for Elvis, and
because if we think back, how long did the thing with a convict carry on Facebook? It was 8 or 9 or 10 months or something. It was over a year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that.
And this is going to be the same thing. But we on that, it was the same thing. It was constant. It was all the time, and eventually they had to give out.
Yeah, Lesley mentions about our inside the studio. That's what I love most about doing this too. It was a great show. It's totally awesome how you both can dissect the songs, and love how you throw in some humor. This is the silliness,
Oh yeah, we have to stop, because if we don't stop, we could go. I mean, Rick and I have. The one time we did an inside the studio, we ended up being on the airways for 6 hours after. So if we don't stop, we could easily go 12 hours.
Yeah, Cam and I can talk. Trust me. I think you all know that. But I mean, when I edit these inside the studio, sometimes there was one that I had to actually edit out almost 30 minutes of it because we had a tendency to kind of ramble on and maybe sometimes go off in a different direction. So I have all those things. I don't lose those parts. And really, I'm thinking seriously about doing just like the outtakes from the inside the studio with some of the stupid shit that we do. But, it's fun. And I'm hoping to get Rich back in there to do another inside the studio, because he was with us with Burning Love. And now when you get 3 amigos together just to have some fun, we got to get him there. I'm serious about that ad of the Memphis newspaper too. Yeah, let me let's kind of highlight that. I'll call tomorrow and find out what it costs to run a full page ad. I'll find out. I would venture to say it's probably going to be close to about $1,500, knowing how full page ads before.
It's too bad we can't do some like telethon thing or something where we're on all day, trying to get people involved, and I don't know.
Well, for me, all I got to do is just pick a day, and we could do it, and we can all rotate in conversation, Yeah. I'll lay back and you guys can.
Some kind of like, I don't know, some kind of like telethon or some kind of something like that, just to try to get some kind of attention.
Yeah. There's a lot of things we can do. We'll talk about it, what we'll do. I'll get with Lesley and maybe all of us can do a little brainstorming on doing something. Are there other channels that would join us? That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Now, I do have the ability to, when we do a live, I can, from EV Mugs, I can simulcast to my Rumble page, which I have some Elvis followers on it. We can simulcast to Rich's page. We could maybe we could talk Brent into allowing us to simulcast to his page. I don't know how many I can simulcast to, but that would get more people involved. That was a good question, Lori. Very good.
We need somebody to go stand there like 12 hours a day with a picket sign. That's,
Eat at Joe's. While you're here, go ahead and sign the petition.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
FAFO Sanders. Hello. I'm not familiar. Where are you from? You know him, Rich?
Who?
FAFO Sanders.
FAO Schwartz?
No. FAFO. Fuck around.
I know. I don't know.
Anyways, hey, welcome. I'm glad you're joining us.
Exactly.
Let me know where you're from. You know what? We could talk to the Elvis Effect. See if they want to get involved in it.
Who wants to go stand in front of the Circle G Ranch with a picket saying this is a disgrace?
Yeah, well, I'd have to lay down on the ground and do it, but that's okay. I'll roll on my belly and we can stick. Oh, never mind.
I mean, if you're in a public street, they can't. The owners can't do anything about it.
Yeah, he's in New York. He's from New York, there, Rich.
My goodness.
Is he really?
Rich
What
is
part
from
of
New York?
What part of New York?
I'm sitting here waiting like he's going to pop up real quick.
And I do the same thing. I do the same thing.
What are they doing, man? They're not responding, dude. It's coming. It is cycling pretty fast. Well, we'll get his answer in a minute. Yeah. What part were you from, Rich?
I'm from Long Island, Long Island, New York.
Yeah. Oh, sad. It sounds like. Looks like. Well, cool. I'm glad you joined us. We're having fun. All right, listen.
Orange County, that's upstate. Okay.
Orange County. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's upstate.
Yeah, I've been through there.
It's nice up there.
Is that like near Ithaca and all that?
Yeah, that's all upstate New York. Yeah.
I used to go to Ithaca all the time, and we had a hotel there. Used to drive. Beautiful place, man. I just
went to CW Post College. Very good. Oh, awesome.
Rich, it's a fine line between pissing off the owners, then they will cut communication. Yeah, that's the one thing about, it's like we talked about when Olga goes down to Elvis Effect, and we were talking about getting a bumper sticker on that, and going, kind of piss, I don't know, kind of getting a little a verbal war with, was it Sirius Radio and all that?
Right. Yeah.
And, obviously, it's a better thing that we just let us be discovered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, let's. I'll put a list together. Hidden Minds, they might do. He was on here earlier. I don't know if he's still here. We're back up to 17. Pretty cool. We've had a decent response today. I wasn't for sure how we do today, but tomorrow, the Cinco de Mayo tomorrow.
Pissing off the owners and going to cut communication.
Huh? Oh.
I was just reading that comment.
So Cinco de Mayo tomorrow. Maybe I'll have. I might see if I can get some. I love some really homemade nice tacos. Oh, I love tacos. Are my favorite.
And today is May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th.
That's good. All right, guys. Well, there's some good suggestions. We'll continue with the book next week. We're going to talk after the show about, a little bit, if everybody's got time, after we're out and done and not recording anymore. We'll talk about some of the things that we want to try to plan for get some time schedule, because Cam and I, especially with Cam, I want him to be able to have a calendar in front of him saying, okay, we're doing this like he knows when we're doing inside the studio because we do it every same time. Same thing with this broadcast. So what we do, everything else, if it's going to be a regular schedule thing like Concert Corner, we're going to keep it at that every time. Now, keep it in mind, we're also going to be recording Concert Corner, so we can have a replay. But I'm recording it video wise too, so we'll upload it to YouTube. And so I can't play it. I can't go live while we're doing it like we're with the radio, because they'll just bump us off for us playing, the whole album of Elvis. But we are starting with the March 20th concert, 1974 in Memphis. That's the first one we're going to do. So we're going to have fun. You guys will be able to call. What do we got here? Somebody said something about jail. What?
Lesley is saying they would hold us off to jail if we overstep just one bit as far as
Yeah,
because Kathleen was saying just screw it, kind of screw it and do it type of thing. That's what Elvis would say. But Lesley was just saying there's a chance they could take us to jail if the owners,
Well, the best thing we can do is take the high road on it all.
Yeah, that's it.
And let them be the jerks.
The sad thing about it is the owners at this point in time have the knife in hand. They have the power.
Yeah.
If we can figure out what their power is and beat them at that, then we'll have the upper hand. But until then, they have the power and they can dictate.
Yeah, I'll get with Lesley about some of the emails and correspondence she's been able to get, and I'll do something to share it with everybody that can. That's the thing I want to do about WhatsApp too. Please get WhatsApp and join our group so I can send you stuff like this, and you guys can see it. Instead of trying to post it on YouTube on my post thing, and not everybody. I can't post all the information, so I can post whatever. I can share a PDF and. Hold on. I didn't want to burp on live.
God bless you.
Star Wars Day. So anyway, I'm going to put something out to remind everybody I'm going to start doing invites to everybody I can to invite to join WhatsApp Blue Moon Radio, and we'll send a group. And once again, you don't have to. Every time you use it, you can message whoever you want. You don't have to do the whole group. Once you have, I love it, with Cam, we do video conferencing, There's been some interesting ones when he calls. He always catches me right when I'm just getting ready to take my food out of the microwave. I do the same thing with him. It's funny. So,
and no, it's not planned or it's not scheduled. It just works out that way every single week. Either Rick's eating when I call, or I'm eating when he calls, or either one of us is busy making food. It's like last week we had to say, "Geez, what is it, man? Every time you call, I'm eating." Like, yeah,
I know. So, like I said, we got a lot of stuff that we're excited about doing, and trying to build up more of an audience and more of an awareness. We want to have, this is fun. I enjoy the conversations with the book. I appreciate everybody input into it. I think it's the perfect book that we started off with. I think this is the best one because, I trust him. I trust that author, and I need to see if my little shits are barking. Sometimes, I guess not. Oh, yep, there he is. Oh, man, he's been rolling in the mud. Yep, there he comes. I beep him and he comes home. Oh, no, he hasn't. All right, cool. Okay. All right, guys, listen, I had a good time. We've been on for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I am shocked to know that. It's nice that you all hung around. We'll continue on next week. The next chapter, I need to mark it here. I read it actually on the Kindle, but I love having this book. I'll read this at night through the book. Elvis in June. All right, cool. A little bit about June. All right, guys. Anybody got any more comments? Let's finish up with the comments. I promise not to step on anybody's toes, Lesley. Authorities. Yes, Cam, that's exactly why I'm trying to connect with the author. Authorities, yeah. I promise not to step on anybody's toes. As much as I would love to go out there and just scream bloody murder, I can't. But that's just, as I get older, I have a little more control over my reactions. But unless somebody wants to, I've had a few instances on the live chats where,
unfortunately, all we could do is just raise awareness.
yeah, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep doing it. I've been with Lesley for 3 years now, doing this, and to be honest with you, I feel out of all these type of situations where we want to get an awareness about the ranch, and Lesley, you tell me whether you agree or not, but I think this has been the best response we've gotten from anybody since we started this. Especially with the, when I called to get the email contact with the congressman, the lady was so nice, man. She just, she read it out to me, and I put it, I wrote it down, and she just, have a great day. There was none of this, and they'd already seen some of our emails we've been sending, so they knew who we were, and nice, and Lesley's gotten response, but I personally think that, in my feeling, that there's a little bit more of excitement about maybe we're actually getting somebody, So anyways, Lori, goodbye. CCAT, you're welcome. Thanks for staying. Barb, Satnin, Teresa.
Everybody, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have a show to do.
Yeah.
So
we
would just
three
play
loud mouths barking in the wind.
That didn't sound right what I said. So Did you hear it, Cam?
Yeah, I caught the end of it.
Said if we don't have anybody, we'd just be playing with ourselves, and I just
boy,
that was the wrong thing to say.
Oh my God, I really need my coffee this morning.
Speaking of which,
all right, guys. Hey, listen, we had a blast. Next week, anticipate 2 chapters, but we'll get as far as we can. I think the 5-chapter deal is out the window because we're just, we're having some good stuff. There's a lot of meat in this book, and the main thing I want to do with these books is just to kind of promote them to you so you can read the whole books and give you some highlights. So,
my ugly face should be back next week.
Yeah. Well, we'll get you sorted out, and then I don't want to put the monkey up from you up there anymore. But anyways. We're leaving the building, guys, and thanks. I had a fun show. I hope you all liked the new trivia. I'm going to do some more of the reverse stuff.
It was a very good show.
Yeah.
Actually, it really was.
All right, everybody. TCB, we love you all. We appreciate your
Thank
support,
you, everybody.
100%.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Bye.